Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network. 'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of hell. A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com. Yeah.
So happy that you have joined us. I'm April.
And I'm Deidre. Happy Saturday, everyone.
Happy Saturday. It's time to talk where your
conversation is your affirmation.
Don't you love how I remembered to...
You sure did.
At least I pointed it. I couldn't exactly remember what you say.
Right. But I remember it. So as long as you remembered and I can say it, so we're good. Tag team.
So we are good. So what are you doing? You posting? You
I'm trying to. Yes, I'm trying to post. I know. I'm here with you, but
because we're trying to give everybody the opportunity to check us out. So we're trying to as soon as it gets posted on the UBN Facebook, we have to put it on our pages, and it's like I don't know. It seems like it's a 10-second thing. Jarvis, like if we can't do it in 10 seconds, then
I know
we're like, hey, you guys, we're still kind of doing it. So yes. I think that's what Deidre's trying to do.
I am. So I can share it on my page. Sometimes I'm a little relaxed.
So girl, so while you kind of figure that out,
okay.
I know you're listening.
Yep.
The last time we were here, we were saying all the changes that would have taken place when we got back here.
Right.
We were looking for a new president. It was our birthdays. It was Jarvis's birthday.
Right. Yes.
We were like, we're all going to be a little older. We're going to have a new president, maybe a female president.
Boo-hoo.
Boo.
Oh my God.
To the who.
Yes. Oh my. It was shocking. It was unbelievable. I could not believe. I was like, we are really going to have Donald Trump as a president. I cannot believe this is happening.
I know. I think, I guess they say half the country loves it and half doesn't.
And it's really crazy because Hillary Clinton, she had the popular vote. And they say it's still
she's still counting,
it's still
right?
Counting, exactly. And it has led up to like almost 1.2 million.
What do you mean?
Like she's the third ranking presidential candidate that has gained the most popular vote and has lost the presidency.
Aww.
So it's really
the
sad.
Electoral
yes, because they're still
college.
counting. They said, and in California alone, 2.8 million votes are still being counted. Wow. So she breaks the lead. She broke records basically for one. It says 1.4 million popular votes, and she broke the record, and she did not become president.
Wow.
So, so it's just really shocking, and I think the country is definitely going through,
grieving.
Yeah.
And like you said, we're in shock and we're still grieving and we're still wondering like, what the heck? WTH.
I was looking at my Twitter feed that night when he won it, and someone posted instead of how we turn our clocks back and forward for the time change, someone said turn your clocks back 50 years. With Donald Trump in office.
Now that he's in office.
Yeah.
I hope to God. You know what? And I don't even like to say it scares me. I don't even like to use that kind of language, but we're concerned.
We are.
We are truly concerned because we don't know. It just seems like they are trying to get so much done in 4 years because we don't know if we're going to reelect them, right? We don't know if they're going to be reelected. So it just seems like they just got this master plan to do this, and this in the next 4 years, like to get it done.
Take away the progress, that we've made. Barack Obama, the things that he signed into office, and to... taking back, whether you like it or not, taking back Obamacare, ending that, certain things that he put in place that were to help us progress and move forward. The Republicans are looking to take those things away.
And that's the thing. It's the unknown, and people, there's a large segment of our population where we are, like I said before, truly concerned.
Right.
Did you see the footage of the Hamilton play in New York?
Oh, no, I heard about it. I didn't see
where
it.
Pence, Vice President-elect Pence attended the play, and he was booed.
Oh, wow.
When he walked in, here he comes with his entourage, the Secret Service, and he just gets booed.
Wow.
And so after the play, one of the lead's characters, he stands up and he just expresses. He says this speech and says, "Everyone, turn your cameras on." And he said, just know that we're concerned here. We don't know what you guys are going to do, so just be fair. Basically, please be fair.
Exactly.
And so that was the end of that. But then President-elect Trump tweets out his side of how he feels about it, and he's just saying, "Oh, that was unfair. Oh, you shouldn't use that forum to say those things. Oh, basically you booed him, and that was just disrespectful of your new vice president-elect."
Really?
And yeah,
well, your whole campaign was vulgar and disrespectful to Hillary Clinton and basically the American people altogether. So,
I know.
Yeah.
So I just really feel like it's going to be. I don't know. It's the unknown.
Yeah.
And this man has a Twitter account. The
yeah.
leader of the free world
He
has a
seems
Twitter account, and he has such thin skin. It's like,
I was going to say, he seems to wear his
graciousness.
heart on his sleeve. So can you imagine, like,
With the other world leaders, like if they do something to him, what?
Going to get into a banter,
girl.
But I was also reading something, and a lot of the young people were saying 2020 elect Michelle Obama. So I was like,
she said I don't think she's going to go for it though.
Right. I mean, you never know. She has years to think about it.
That's true.
But a lot of people were trying to get her to, consider, running. And I thought, because I'm like, she would be fantastic. I think she would absolutely just be fantastic.
That would be interesting.
Mm-hmm,
that
would be. So, so the next woman president, I'm sure, is to come about very soon. Because it's time.
Oh yeah. I mean, the door's been open for a long time. We've had a few. No one has been as successful as Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Haven't gotten this far, so the next one's just going to take it over the top.
Exactly.
It's going to take it through.
And I feel for her because I wanted her to be.
I did too.
I really did, and I know that was her second time running and everything.
Yeah.
So my heart goes out to her because I know
Mine
she just really tried.
That's
she
right.
Tried hard, so.
A strong woman. Strong woman.
But even besides that, I want to ask Jarvis. Did you have a good birthday, Jarvis? Yeah, I did. Oh, good.
Oh,
good.
good.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah,
Good.
we did too. It was nice. It was good.
It was nice.
But now, April, we have Thanksgiving, you guys. Thanksgiving is upon us.
I mean, I'm happy about it, but then just
didn't it come so fast though?
It did come fast. But we've been carb counting. And we've been trying to, and I've been trying to do this little exercise thing, you guys. It is not easy.
Yeah.
And I just need strength. And as soon as I feel like as soon as I got a handle on it, as soon as I got my 21 days, 21 days to a habit, 21 days you change your diet and you implement some exercise and stuff, before the new year, let's make these resolutions now, right? This is my thought. But then it just seems like I just finished, and here is Thanksgiving and Christmas is around the corner.
Right.
What am I going to do?
Because I was doing that with you. We were trying to change.
Yes.
For 21 days, we were stopping eating sugar. We were laying off the carbs and trying to implement exercising.
Detoxing and just being healthier. Just being healthy.
And it did. I really did. I shedded some pounds in certain areas. It wasn't like an overall thing, but certain areas I definitely needed to lose some weight and stuff. And now that I'm like, okay, a little bit, I'm taking little pinches here of some bread, cinnamon roll, or this and that. I'm like, oh no, here we go again. But I really want to change. I want to change it to a lifestyle because I really enjoyed how I felt.
Yeah, that's
and
the
especially
same here.
The things I've been through. I need to stay more on a healthy kick, but it just gets tough sometimes.
You kind of kicking and screaming those first few days, maybe that first week, but as soon as you get over that threshold, then it just your body just is so happy, and you're so happy the way you, like you said, the way you feel.
Yes.
And I didn't want to make it all about food. I know Thanksgiving's about coming together and being grateful and everything, and that's what I'm looking forward to, spending time with family and being grateful. And I think at this time of year, with everything that we've gone through, we've lost so many people.
Right.
This
We
year,
sure have.
personally and professionally, we've seen celebrities that we know and love, we watched and loved, and things like that.
Grew up with.
Yeah. So I think people are more into the holidays this time. I mean, they're already talking about Christmas, but just my circle, people that I see, we're so excited about just coming together and
celebrating
connecting
each
with
other,
family and celebrating, and I'm looking forward to it.
I am too. Just like you said, giving thanks. The people that are here, because this year has just been unbelievable with loss, and so. Now it's just like okay, Lord, thank you for, bringing us through, giving us what we need, being there for us, things like that, and celebrating really to each other, forgiving one another. There's people that you need to forgive. There's people that you need to, maybe remove out of your life, or you maybe need to step away, different things like that.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to be talking to our guest about. Right? It's funny that you say that. Yeah. Our guest today, her name is Stacye Branché, and she is the author of Relationships and the Things We Don't Talk About. Wow. I love that title. Yeah. Because we don't talk about a lot of things in relationships.
Right. And I want to talk about what we don't talk about.
Today. We're going to talk about what we don't talk about. She's also an inspirational speaker and author, and I can't wait to bring her in. So we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back with Stacye Branché. Please stay tuned.
Speak Your Week will guide you through the process of using the power of your thoughts and words to create more positivity and success in your life, day to day and week to week. Written by It's Time to Talk's own host, April Jordan. This dynamic book will remind you of the powerful person you really are and how to use that power to create the life that you want. Want better health, success, abundance, love, and more. Within the chapters, you will discover the kind of thoughts, emotions, and words you should be speaking about the things that matter to you most. Also, included in this book are affirmations to speak each day of the week. When spoken in daily succession, these affirmations gain momentum and can help you on your journey towards the life of your dreams. There's no other way around having the life that you want. It all starts with you. Get ready to speak your week. Available for download at Amazon.com.
It's Time to Talk. We hope that you enjoyed that very brief break. And you saw a few excerpts from people who are loving on our guest's book. She is inspirational speaker and author, Stacye Branché. Please welcome her to our show. Woohoo! Hi,
Stacye. Welcome.
Thank you so much So this book, Relationships and the Things We Don't Talk About.
Right.
Okay, please tell us about this book.
Well, let's start with the cover.
Okay. Right?
Yeah, we need to show that cover.
I know, right?
Is that you?
That is me.
Oh, okay.
That is me.
Oh, girl.
The cover, the reason I want to start with the cover is because in most relationships, we seem to see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. So we never say the things that need to be said. We'll act like we don't see things.
Oh my gosh.
We'll act like we don't hear things.
Yeah.
And so I thought the reference of that was where the cover came from. Because a lot of times people ask me about the cover, so
yeah.
No, that's very appropriate. And that brings me to the question: why do we? Is that something more where women are more in denial into not asking questions, like in red flags or situations? It's both sides.
It's what we're taught.
Okay.
I mean, if you think about it, one of the things I talk about in the book is the fact that we go through. No one teaches us how to be together. Okay. You know, we go to school.
Okay.
Okay.
We learn how to read, write, history, whatever, geography, math.
Right.
But no one teaches us how to be together. Wow. No one teaches us how to be in a relationship. We watch our parents and we don't know that our parents are doing it right.
Right.
And then we go off into the world, and now that we've gone into the world, we meet someone, and then we're trying to figure out why we don't get along.
Okay.
Because we've had different teachers.
Right.
But no one's thinking about the backstory. They're just in the moment. You're not doing what I want. You don't behave the way my father behaved or my mother behaved.
Right.
And it really is what we don't talk about. We don't meet someone and say, so tell me about you. What do you really want? Who are you? You know, it's like I watched the news show on NBC, This Is Us, the other day. Okay. And there was a scene, and they were already married. And she goes, I'm not that girl. I don't want to have babies, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be like my mother. And he realizes they never had this conversation.
Okay.
Wow. And that's deep.
But that's really
that's-
true.
yeah.
A lot of people do that, right?
Right.
They don't
Right.
they don't have real conversations. We talk about the flowery stuff and
Yeah.
we all
Right.
want our life to be like the movies, and the movies aren't real.
Right.
That's
You know,
right.
It's
so
so true.
we don't talk about our relationships, and when things are wrong, we just get mad and we sulk off. I'm a talker, and I know throughout my life, especially when I was younger, men seem to they felt like I asked too many questions, and I wasn't asking questions because I was trying to be nosy as much as, if you want to be in my life, don't I need to know who you are?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
And so if you notice that, and so when you go back to that, men are not taught to talk. Think about how the
Right.
examples men have.
Right.
Right.
Be hard, be strong,
Yeah.
be
Right.
stoic, don't talk.
Yeah.
And so then
they don't.
then they get right, so they don't. And then we as women are not taught how to make a man feel safe enough to do that.
Open up.
To be that
That's-
right.
Okay.
that's
So
good
he's
right
still
there.
trying to be this guy. And so I actually have a whole subchapter on understanding us, and it is about how women treat men and what we expect of them. If you think about it, when a man, say a man, an older man, whatever age, his wife dies.
Okay.
Now, when a woman's husband dies, everybody feeds her, they bring food, they check on her. When a man's wife dies, nobody checks. They just, he's a man.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
That's deep.
Think about how we are as a society. It doesn't matter what race you are, how old
Right.
you are. This is how we behave because it's what we keep seeing.
Wow.
Yeah, because I could totally agree to that, because even with my mom and dad, I treat my mom and dad differently. And
Right.
sad to say, because I feel my dad, I don't give him as much attention as I give my mom.
Because you think he's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Because I'm like, he's a man. He
And
can
he'll
handle
say
it.
he's fine.
And he'll say he's fine. Exactly.
You
And
know?
I'm like,
Or if you think about how we treat little boys, it drives me crazy because I hear people do this all the time. Your son falls down, he hurts his knee, and you got to shake it off, man
I
up.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Little
Toughen
girl,
up.
oh, baby,
Yeah.
come here. Oh,
Right.
are you okay? Right?
Right.
We do all of that. And so this starts from childhood,
Right.
and we keep going all the way into our adulthood. And so then we don't learn to talk. So if you didn't see your parents talk and communicate, how do you know how to do that?
Right.
Right.
Who taught you that?
Yeah, you don't.
my
You
gosh.
don't. And I think in it, something that you said earlier, it just reminded me of something, how we sort of assume too many assumptions in relationships.
Yes.
And we kind of talk in our own heads and come up with our own,
And to our friends.
and oh my gosh,
my
to our
And
friends.
to our friends.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, like we're, like they're our therapists half the
Right.
time.
Right.
But I think a lot of times we're in our heads and we're afraid of the truth. I
I
think
don't know if we're afraid as much as we have a perception of what we think the truth is. I don't know that we're afraid all the time. Sometimes it's fear, but we still go into even our relationships with our friends with a preconceived notion of how people should behave.
right.
We always
right.
think everyone is raised like us, and we keep forgetting no one is. We don't have the same manners. It's like being in a when you're at work and you have a coworker that does or says something that is just rude, and you think, to quote,
Have you been to
T.K.
my job?
Kirkland,
Have you been
Right.
to my job?
and you think of like T.K. Kirkland that says, "Who raised you?" Like, who
Yes.
raised you? And you
Right.
say to yourself, "God, Lord, who raised
Right,
you,
right.
Girl.
And you don't realize, and it could be something like the work refrigerator or something, and
Yeah.
the person that takes other people's food, or the person
yeah.
that
Right.
leaves a mess.
Right.
You think, were you raised in a barn?
Yes. Yes.
training.
But you forget, right? And
Yeah.
we'll say no
Right.
home
No home
training, but what we
yeah.
forget is it's not no home training, just different training than us.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
They just had different
Right.
training than we had.
And I think, well, being a woman, that's only who I can speak from, perspective. But it seemed like we as women, we think the man or whoever we're in a relationship with is the mind reader. Even our children, like,
right.
didn't you see that over there? You picked that up. What is wrong with you? You know what I mean? We're doing that type of thing instead of like, teaching or showing, or maybe the person didn't see something, or,
Right.
whatever you saw, they didn't see. And like you said, that's based on communication. The way we communicate is just, like I said, out of
Exactly.
anger, out of frustrations, out of
our
like
emotions all the time.
So it's just like, we have to. It's like we have to go back and start new, over.
You have to start over and say, okay, this is who I am.
Yeah. Right.
And also a lot of times, what I at least see is that I think people are not taught to like themselves. We think because we have things that we like ourselves, and things don't mean you like yourself. Those are your image. Those are the things you want other people to see to think you've made it.
Right.
But it's really about what makes you happy.
Right.
And you have to be very clear about your own happiness so that you can be happy with somebody else.
Yeah.
And if you like you, then no one can come and interfere in your life. No one can just be in your life.
Right.
The sad part is that the more you like yourself, the harder it is to be around other people.
Isn't that funny?
That part is true.
That's funny because we talk about that a lot. We talk about self-love a lot on the show. We just talk about just the importance of being an individual, not being a selfish individual, but just knowing who you are.
Knowing who you are.
Like that should be taught in school. Like
and that shit, right? I agree.
Can you
I
go
agree.
figure out? Can we figure out who we are as individuals?
Because that's just as important as balancing a checkbook.
It's just as important.
That's just as
And
important.
they don't even teach that in school.
Well, they did when I was in school. Probably older than y'all, but they did when
All
I was in school.
Just accounting 101, but otherwise.
But I do think I think that we don't. We're not taught to love ourselves, which makes it difficult for us to love other people.
Right.
And that's again one of those things we don't talk about. There's a lot of things, if you really think about it, that nobody talks about. You know, like a couple will have sex, and I'm saying this, I don't know how deep your show gets, but
you can go there.
Yeah, okay. You can go there. This is something I actually say in the book, so I can say it out loud.
Okay.
I like sex.
Okay.
I'm with you.
You know what? You're in a room,
right? Okay.
No, I got to cut you off. We're in a room full of Scorpios.
Oh,
yeah. It's fair to say. Okay.
We're all in agreement.
We're on the same page.
Well, with that said, and so this is something I've noticed in my experience, is that no one ever has a conversation about the sex they're going to have, the sex they're having, and after the sex. Except every now and then a man will say, "How was that?" Well, okay. I, on the other hand, am a little bit more verbal than that, which usually throws most men off because most women don't say anything. And I'm very good at, no, that's not working for me. We got to work this out.
Right.
Go,
Because
girl.
I
ain't mad at
So there's a lady, I don't know if she's watching this right now. She's a friend of mine, an older lady. I just love her to death. And one day, she was late for an appointment we had, and she called me and she said, "Stacye, I'm not going to make it." I said, "Well, is everything okay?" She said, "Girl, I'm not hardly home nor hardly dressed." And I said, "Okay." And she said, and I'm enjoying where I am. And, it's nothing like a wasted wet ass, and I don't want to waste it. I'm going back where I am.
Oh.
Okay, so with that said,
okay.
so my point being is that I don't believe in a wasted wet ass. So there's no reason for me to be, there is no reason for me to be somewhere not having a good time. So if I don't speak up, closed mouths don't get fed. So if I don't speak up, then it's my fault.
It is.
Right?
Absolutely.
It is. And
Absolutely.
it is. And the dysfunctionality of that is that the people who don't speak up are going to their friends and mad at the person
Girl,
that
I don't know how to make him. Oh, it's just not good.
They go to everybody else
right.
and try
Instead
to
of
figure
just
it
saying,
out.
look, if we did this and this, this might work better for me.
Just like that
And
saying.
then you might enjoy it more.
Exactly.
Right.
Like the saying, you have to teach people how to treat you.
That's
the
it.
same thing in the bed.
That's it.
You
You
got
do.
to teach that
Across
person
the board.
what do you like, what you don't like. You know, how does this hurt? Does this feel good? You know what I mean? Those type of things.
Right.
So I'm with you all the way.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too.
That is again, and one of the other things we don't. When I excuse me, when I wrote the book, I actually was. This is my third book. I have. It's on how you look at it. Thoughts and questions about life, which is kind of based on my blog.
Okay.
And that I was writing the next book. That was supposed to be a set, and so different life themes, but blogs, just sort of, I call it my hip daily word. And so that's what it was supposed to be. And when I started writing the book, it was like Spirit just said, no, you're going to write this. And I really had to sit and think about all those things that bothered me in relationships and the things that people over the years would I get a lot of emails and people ask me for advice and I had to think about all the conversations I had, and they were all kind of the same conversations, but they all came back to nobody was talking. No one was communicating.
Wow.
And I really sat and thought about all those, just like when we have breakups. There's a lot of things about breakups that no one tells us. You know, when we break up, you have some friends, girl, get over it, date.
Right.
Okay, well, if you really love somebody, it's not easy to just go date.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Why
Not
am
at
I going to
all.
go do that?
Exactly.
I need to heal.
Yes.
I need
Right.
to mend.
Yes.
Right.
And I don't need my friends trashing my ex because you don't know.
Right.
Right.
That's the thing. Like I tell people, keep people out your business.
Yeah.
Like I'm my family always says I'm sneaky, and I'm not sneaky. It doesn't involve you.
Right.
Whatever that is I'm doing,
Right.
I'm
That's your
doing it. If I
business.
want to tell you, I'll tell you, but you'll wake up, I bought a house, bought this, I'll go do stuff.
You know,
and they're
I-
like, you didn't tell me, but well, because it didn't concern
Right,
you.
right.
I don't know what else to
And,
tell
and
you.
I don't need your vibes on what I'm doing.
Right.
And,
Yeah,
and
I know
that's
that
it.
too.
Right.
And
And
I'm healthy.
Talking you out
because
there,
people,
putting it down.
even if they go, that's nice.
Can't you
And
feel
you
it?
know,
Can't
and
you
you don't feel it, right? And you
ain't happy
and
for
just
me.
them turning their face the
Right.
wrong way and their
Yes.
mouth is
Right.
wrong.
Yes.
And even though they're saying all the positive words, you don't feel
You
good.
don't feel good.
You do not feel good. So I've learned to not say anything until I'm done. Then you say whatever you want because
Right.
it's done.
'Cause it's
It's
done.
done.
And you can't discourage me.
Right.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's because you don't want other people putting their energy on you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And I get a lot. I'm just like you in that way, and I get a lot of heat for that. So I get it. I do want to ask you, what about dishonesty in relationships, particularly when you, man or woman, when you know that your mate is not being honest with you, and they're saying, "Oh, but maybe you can maybe you say, oh, I saw you at the mall today, and you said you were supposed to be at work. What were you
Right.
doing at the mall? Oh, I wasn't at the mall. Yeah, but I saw you. Oh, yes, I
Right.
was. But what happens? What do you do when you know something is true and your mate is being dishonest with you?
But
Is
see,
it just
that goes back to the beginning because had there been communication, there would never have been dishonesty. I really do believe that. I think if anyone that I've ever dated, one of the problems I've always found is because I'm brutally honest, and I'm gonna tell you everything I did. So don't ask, and I'll tell them
because you'll tell them.
don't ask if you don't want to know. Don't ask.
Right.
So I always and I have a theory. You're grown. You're a grown person. So if you're going to do whatever that is, just be honest.
Yes.
And most of the men I deal
Right.
with are honest with me because I start out in that place.
Right, right.
And I think that's what it is. It's like if someone believes there's this belief that I'm gonna hurt you, right? And
right.
and so that's where the lies start.
Yes.
But the reality is you're going to hurt me more when I find out.
Right.
And there's a lot of things that we do all in the name of not hurting someone but really protecting ourselves that sabotage relationships, which I can't tell you what chapters is off the top of my head, but there's actually a chapter in my book on that, the things that we do unconsciously and consciously that kind of we've been taught to do.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
it all goes
Right.
back to the teaching.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you need to go do whatever that is, you are grown. Go do it. Just don't bring me nothing I can't get rid of.
Right.
No,
That's what I care
exactly.
about.
That's-
You know what I mean?
exactly, right.
Don't disrespect me.
Right.
You're a grown person. I'm not your mother. So for me, I have always had problems has been men that aren't quite ready for that. They always think I don't care. And it's not that I don't care. I'm not your mother.
Right.
Okay, right.
I'm a grown woman and you're a grown person, right?
Right.
You're a grown human. So go do that.
Right.
Whatever that is. But also
Right.
be prepared for the consequences of your actions.
Yes.
That's right.
And that's what we're not taught. We're not taught about our
Right.
consequences. For every
Right.
action, there's a reaction. So now when you go do whatever that is, and then I don't have much time for you,
Right.
don't be mad.
Don't be
Exactly.
surprised.
Don't be mad.
Yeah, and see that's because they haven't tapped into what their individuality,
Right.
who they are. You've done the work.
Right.
You're like, you know what? I know I've learned my lessons. I know what I
Right.
want now. I know I'm going to ask these questions. So you approach someone they're still playing.
Right.
They haven't taken themselves seriously or what they're doing seriously. You know, and I think when I want to go back to what you were saying about in the beginning of relationships, I think as women sometimes too, just I can only speak because I'm a woman, but sometimes we jump in too fast and too soon, and we don't ask the question. We don't take the time to find out all the questions first. You're interested in me now. Are you still seeing someone else? You know, is there someone else still in the picture?
Because no one is ever really single.
Right. You know,
that's very rare that someone is single. So you do have to ask.
And instead of we just start, I met this new man and we doing this and that, but we haven't taken the time to really dig deep to the questions that we need to ask to make ourselves feel secure. You know, because then you're in a relationship and you seen them in the mall and you're like, wait a minute. Now you're insecure, you know. When you should have laid back and said, let me find out everything about this man before I give him my heart or I give him sex or whatever. And I think for women, sometimes we can kind of just jump in a little faster than we should instead of asking questions.
I believe in the 30-day rule, not because I'm prudish. I believe, and not that I've always stuck with it, but I believe in it. No, I mean, this is honest. I think there's a moment. Women need to be more honest. Sometimes we do just want to have sex, just like a man.
That's true.
And women need to just be honest.
Jarvis is like, hey,
right. I mean, but that's true. Sometimes that's all we want to do.
Right.
But if I think I like you, then I gotta wait the 30 days. 'Cause I need to ask my questions. But if I don't care, that's something very different.
Right.
And so for all the men that might be listening, I don't know about other women, but for myself. Women can be hoish as well. Yeah. And sometimes a woman is not trying to talk to you later. Like, I'm not trying to wake up with you. I don't want to look at you later. I was trying to handle
got
some
things
business.
to do.
I got things to do. I need you to go. And I think, because the one thing I've always found fascinating are the men that always think that every woman just is in love because she just had sex with you.
Right.
Please. Love ain't got nothing to do with this.
Right.
Love ain't got nothing to do with this.
Right.
This is very physical right now.
Right.
And they tend to think we're not there too. And so I think the questions, I do believe in the 30-day rule only because I believe you have to ask the questions. And the more time I spend with you, the better.
Right.
But if all I want to do is this, so I'm gonna tell you a funny story, and since I know this person is not internet savvy, they don't have this.
We have a little bit.
We're gonna save that. Yes, we're gonna go to a quick break, and we're gonna come back. We're gonna hear this. I can't wait to hear the story.
Yes.
Please come back with us with more from Stacye Branché.
Now,
Did you know that your skin is your body's largest organ? And you should be aware of what you're applying to it. The more natural products you use, the better. The best place to start is with Did It For Love handmade natural body products, made with pure organic ingredients. Our Shea Body Butter Moisturizer is whipped to perfection and hydrates dry, cracked skin and protects from UV rays. Did It For Love Shea Body Butter Moisturizer is infused with essential oils. You can choose from scents like lavender, vanilla and sandalwood, white rose, and many more. Our deodorant has a fresh scent that not only works against odor, but also reduces sweat. With this toxin-free deodorant, you can feel fresh and confident all day long. You can also keep your lips healthy and kissable with our handmade lip balms. In healing and fruity scents like tantalizing peppermint to sensational green apple. Our products promote healthy, youthful-looking skin and is safe for the whole family. Vegan-friendly, cruelty-free, and gentle enough for cancer survivors and those going through treatment. Go to diditforlove.com today. Did It For Love, toxin-free for your whole family.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're now tuning into the very best. It's yours truly, Jazzy Fizzle, and you got to check out my girls, Deidre and April, on their new show, It's Time to Talk, Saturdays at 5 p.m. on
ubnradio.com.
Yeah, can we talk for a moment?
Hey.
Oh boy! Yeah, and I'm coming real soon with the exclusive interview.
Yes, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh boy, I almost kissed her. Oh boy.
Welcome back. It's time to talk. If you've been tuning in, you've been getting some juicy info about relationships with our guest, Stacye Branché. Now, before we went to the break, you were going to tell us this story. I can't wait to hear it.
so, okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter when it was. It doesn't matter when it was. But the story is that basically, and this happened a couple of times in my life, where I didn't wait the 30 days. And usually for me, what has happened when I have had my indiscretions, the man doesn't quite know how to just be a booty call. When I'm like,
he wasn't taught to be a booty call.
Like, like I'm thinking, okay, he might be good for just this. I don't want to know him beyond this. I don't really care.
Okay.
And the next thing I know, in this particular person, we had a really weird conversation at dinner one night. We would go to dinner and I'd think, this isn't quite the relationship I was wanting here.
Yes.
There's no future here. I know there's no future. I'm very clear.
Okay.
I knew that. I knew it the first time we went out, and I came back, and all my friends were like, "How was it?" I said, "He's not my dude. Nice guy.
Okay.
He's not my dude."
Okay. Right.
And then we went out a couple more times. I was like, "Well, I think maybe he could just be a booty call. That could work."
Straight up, you said that.
Yeah,
maybe we can just be a booty call.
Yeah, that was how I felt about it, and but he didn't want that role. He didn't know how to do that. And it was really stressing me out. I was like, I need you to be an asshole like the guys
like
I've known in the past and just be down with this program.
Well, you must have been putting it on him or something.
I was gonna say you probably give it away something. You're probably saying something else here. People are probably reading into something else. Well, if he didn't want to leave, then you probably just put it down.
None of them have ever wanted to leave. That I will say.
You know what? I have the same.
That might be the
preaching
next
to the choir.
Yeah.
Preaching to the choir.
That might be the next book.
When I was
when you
younger,
don't want to leave. Relationships and the ones who don't want to leave.
Since we're
ones who
sharing,
don't want to leave, right?
Since we're sharing. When I was younger, when I was single,
It's just us.
yeah, right. Same thing. I would have my indiscretions, same thing, and that's all it was. That's all I wanted.
All you
right?
wanted.
And so people say, and people say, "Have you ever had a one night stand?" I'm like, I intended them to be, but they never turned out that way because the guy would want to come back.
They call again. And I don't know if they feel guilty, like I should call her. I don't know what that is, but I always think, I've never really had a one night stand either. I can't think of anybody that, So. Yeah, I don't know. Men,
But you
men
know
don't
what?
always.
Isn't that the way it goes? Now, if you wanted a relationship, if you wanted the dude, if you were all after him and calling and texting, he wouldn't want anything to do with you per se. You know what I mean? But when you're like, oh, whatever, leave me alone, I'm good, then they're all,
Yeah.
And that could be true. That could be true as well. I just think people should be very clear about what it is they want.
Absolutely.
What they personally want, what they want to do,
right,
and who they want to do it with. I think I have a belief that you learn a lot about a person in the first 5 minutes. I genuinely do. People say a lot more than they realize they're saying, especially if they don't intend for there to be a relationship. Okay. And the men that I've been in long-term relationships with, the 30-day rule applied. I knew them when we were friends and we hung out. It was very different. But I was very clear. Like I think the other mistake we make is that we believe we can fix people. Yeah. Because somebody, and I know every girl, their mother said, "Oh, girl, you can work with that," or your friends say, "Oh, girl, you can." No, you can't. I can't fix you because you're asking me to make somebody be someone they're not, and that's where we mess up. Right. You can't ask someone to be someone they're not. You can't require that of them because you don't want them to do it to you. Right. And that's the part I don't get. True. Like, so we're going to request of someone something we don't want for ourselves. Right. And I think we're very selfish. We're all very selfish in what we want, how we deal with our relationships, and how we deal with other people.
And is it true that sometimes, like when we're picking people too, it's kind of like a mirror of yourself, and certain things lessons or things that you may need to learn?
The lessons you need to learn, I think, we all gravitate to what's familiar, so sometimes, especially when you're younger and you have not worked through your issues, you will gravitate towards someone who's broken in the same place as you are. Right. And because that's familiar to you, that's a pain, that behavior is something that you've already experienced. And as you get older and hopefully learn more, you start realizing that I need better experiences, different experiences.
Right.
I think that's
Right.
again, I wish they taught, and not just male-female relationships, but our romantic relationships, but how just to have how to like ourselves, how to pick our friends.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
You know, because
yes.
as women, because women are not always kind, and
Nope.
women
Oh my gosh, yeah.
are not kind to each other.
Right.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
And it makes me sad because who teaches another woman that she has to be nasty to another? You know what I mean? Who teaches a woman that?
Right, exactly.
And I never was petty or jealous. I was never that girl. I wasn't taught that. I don't know how to be jealous of someone.
Right.
Because no one can take from me what's mine.
That's right.
You know,
That's
so
right. Amen.
you don't have anything I want that bad.
Yes.
You know, and if I have it, it doesn't mean it's going to be the same for me.
Exactly.
Right.
So I'm very clear about that. I don't, but I don't know who teaches women that thing.
Right.
I mean, I remember a friend of mine years ago, and that moment. Are you all from LA?
Yes.
I'm not going to ask you how old you are, but
That's okay. We're not going to tell you.
okay.
We just had a birthday.
There was a moment when I realized that my friend felt that she was better than me because she was lighter than me.
Oh,
And she didn't. It's the way she did what she did
Okay.
and said what she
She-
said,
okay.
and I went, oh, that's what that was. I see. He's supposed to like you because
Wow.
of that. But obviously, that's something her mother taught her.
okay.
Wow.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so that's what I'm saying about what we learn,
Yeah.
Right.
who teaches us
Right.
all of the, and just like women teach other women, if you're with a bunch of catty girls, then you're going to be catty.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And just like
Yes.
men, I've watched their friends, make them feel that they have to be hard,
Right.
instead of allowing them to just be who they are and
yeah.
express their feelings,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it all ties in, like you said, it's not just romantic relationships and it's particularly with women,
Yeah.
because I don't have a lot of female friends. Dieter doesn't have a lot of female friends, and we have talked about that. Like we are really good friends,
Right,
sisters, and really
right,
good friends as
right.
well. But I've noticed that when there were times where my circle was enlarging and there was lots of
Right.
women around, we were having a great time, or we met at an event and things were great, or and then we got together, maybe more intimate settings, and then the cattiness would come out, or someone walks in a room and they're talking about the woman, and
or someone came and talked to you and didn't talk to that person, or you got
All that
something
little-
someone else didn't get.
all those little dynamics pop out, and I refuse to participate. Again, your mother, our mother said, don't talk about nobody.
Right.
God made us all. It just shows your insecurity when you're
Right.
talking about what you feel someone else needs or is missing or is lacking, or the way God made them, so I refuse to do that. So, and I notice when I'm in those situations and I'm not, gossiping and I'm not talking about the next person, it's like, oh, well, we can't, she's obviously not one of us. And then it's, then
Then you're
great,
ostracized,
I
you're
can't
out.
be your friend,
Right.
And so, but there's the few that will come around and we'll be on the same page, we're in the same vibe, and we're loving life and we're loving the same things, and it's not that many people though. And I ain't trying to say I'm better or whatever.
Right.
It's just different.
Right.
It's different.
And it's a small little, our clique is small, gets smaller and smaller because of that.
yeah, it does.
And I wish it were not that way, because I have a lot of male friends who just say, they have 20, 30 friends.
Yes.
Let's go going to the movies, just going out to dinner, just going into an event, and they're posting pictures. It's like 50 deep.
Yeah.
I'm like, how
But
in the
because
world?
women are taught to be
How in the world?
competitive. There's
Yes.
this thing with us. Women are very competitive. I'm not, so I just could care
know.
less.
Could
I'm
care
like,
less.
if I listen to somebody going into their little tantrum, I'm like, okay, all right, whatever
Yeah.
that is for you,
Yeah.
do that.
It's
know?
exhausting. I'm
very
not,
exhausting.
I'm not that. There's no way. I'm trying to keep up with myself.
Right?
I can't keep up with
full-time
you
job.
and you and you
And that's
and
a
you.
full-time job.
Yes.
So I go into my own little shell, my own little bubble, and I'm trying to fix me. I'm trying to live my happiness. I'm
Yes.
trying to find my destiny, my journey that God has put for me.
Right.
That is my life. That's a life job within itself.
And
Yes,
it's so
it is.
fulfilling.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
To compete
Yes,
with
it
someone
is.
else or be jealous or, it's a waste of time.
I want to ask you though, so what about when it comes to a man competing with you?
Ooh.
Because that has happened to me more than once, where I'm just like, we're polar opposites here, and we should be coming together. We should be magnetized together. Why are you competing against me?
Well, okay.
And yet you like me.
Right. Okay. No, because they do. They like you. But here's the thing. Depending upon, again, how they were raised, because that's really important.
Yes.
I'm saying that because years ago, I dated this guy. And one of the things, now I can look back and realize it was really what he was taught. He came from a very old-fashioned background. So he believed that he had to be the boss and he had to be this or he had to be, there were all these expectations of himself, which, so when, I don't know how much of my background you know, but so for years I did makeup in the film industry and I went back to school and started doing this. But I just started doing makeup maybe, but was doing really well.
Okay.
And then I noticed the verbal abuse started, and nobody had ever put their hands on me because they know I wouldn't be sitting here right now. But the verbal abuse kind of started, just a little picking, and then one day I said, he said that he could never marry me because I traveled too much and I was this and I was that, and I said, wow, that's really interesting that now that I'm doing really well, everything I do is a problem. But what you fail to understand is right now we could have a great life together,
Right.
but you have a problem with the fact that I make more money than you. You're finding the wrong issue to have.
Right.
And so obviously he had to get kicked to the curb.
Right.
But that it's again what he was taught.
Right.
His father took care of the house. His mother stayed at home. So I wasn't in my place.
Okay.
And if you don't see an example, you can't, you know what I mean? You can't be what you don't see.
Right.
And I think that has a lot to do with it. When it's really them not feeling enough, you know? And so if somebody doesn't feel enough, the only time someone, be it male or female, becomes abusive to you or unkind is usually because they don't feel good about themselves.
Right.
So if
Right.
you're moving and you're upwardly mobile and doing your thing and they feel stagnant and they're not doing what they want to do, then they can't do anything but take it out on you.
Wow.
Okay.
In their minds.
In their minds, right.
You know, instead of saying, well, hey, you know what? This could be a good life. They don't look at it as a good life.
Yeah.
They look at it as, oh, you think you're better than me?
Yeah.
Oh, you think, you know what I mean?
Right.
They become defensive.
Right.
When really, you know, I do have a chapter on that in the book as well, because that's another big thing, especially with women in this day and age, how money becomes an issue. You know, 'cause there's so many women that are doing well and have good jobs, and is the one point I do disagree with Steve Harvey on. I didn't read his book, but I did see the movie. And when they make the big point with Taraji about, you know, she wants to be with a man that's a certain way. And this is all I will say about that. It's really easy for a man who's successful to say women should settle when you're not a woman.
Right.
But the truth is that is a very, very hard dynamic to be in for a woman who's successful.
Yeah.
And I know as my career took off, so just a little background about me. I worked with Cuba Gooding and Lawrence Fishburne for years. I did Ray. I was a very successful makeup artist. And I was obviously I've traveled around the world. I've done a lot of things. And I've reached an age where I don't really want to teach you everything.
Okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
goodness.
And so, and so when you look at a movie like Think Like a Man, and you see Taraji, and not that she didn't want to see this man do well. But sometimes, like, he didn't even feel good enough about himself to say he wasn't driving his own car.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so there's so many things she was used to that he couldn't do for her. And so my question would be to Steve, why should I do without what I'm used to while he gets himself together? I'm not saying that she could never be with him.
Right.
I'm saying that that's a very interesting dynamic, and it's not always one that works.
That's right.
And you know, I mean, because I've done things, and I'm not saying you have to have done what I've done, but there's certain things I enjoy doing or I like doing, and I don't want you uncomfortable.
Exactly.
I don't want you uncomfortable when you come in a room, and I don't want you browbeating me or talking down to me to make yourself feel good.
That's right.
All of those that's a very so it's easy. It's easy to tell someone you should do this.
Exactly.
But it's different to live it.
Right. And it's really about the law of attraction and the same frequency you're on. Because
I was going to say, get somebody on your
exactly,
level.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You're missing
somebody.
That's exactly it. Just
somebody
missing,
on your level, because if you're both climbing,
Right.
that's
Oh
all
my
great.
God.
Exactly.
But if one person's here,
Yeah.
especially when it's the woman, because we are taught in society that the man's supposed to be here, the
Right.
man's
Right.
the boss,
Right.
the man is this,
Right.
and that's fine.
Right.
If you want to live that life,
Sure.
But okay.
No,
No,
we're
go
good.
ahead.
No, we're
Go
good.
ahead.
His
We're
hand
good.
went up. Is he disagreeing?
Jarvis is saying, hey,
Oh, hi, Jarvis.
we're good. Continue.
So and that's fine if that's but men have to be willing to be if you are on your climb, that's great. But you have to be willing to learn and grow and not belittle me because you're not where you want to be.
Exactly.
Right.
Instead of learn from that and be supportive or say, baby, you know, find that role, because you could be a very confident man and still I know some, you know, they're very confident and their women are the breadwinners, or you know, or she's doing her thing and he's laying back, but he's motivating her, he's supporting her, he's doing, you know, he's still being respected, you know, and that's the other thing. As long as if she's respecting him too, you know, then you can both make it.
Right. And that's what I was going to say. And I'm quite sure, even I can probably speak for you in your thing. You said we were going to have a great life. You probably would have helped him in his endeavors and whatever he, you know, hey, maybe he had a little time to figure it out. Figure it out what you're going to do. Let me help. I know I would.
Right.
Why wouldn't you? If that's someone that you're in love with and having a relationship and see a future with.
Well, I wasn't in love with him.
Okay, well, someone that you may see a future with, perhaps, or you want to help.
But at that age,
Yeah.
I thought maybe we could do a few things.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
Well, you figure you can build.
Yeah.
You know, you can grow.
Yeah.
But
people don't. They
but
don't
again,
have that open mind.
but
to
it's
see that.
again how you're taught.
Yeah.
It all goes back to our teaching.
Yeah.
And then that teaching is everything. That's why I always say don't sleep on the backstory. I want to get your backstory. I want to know who you are.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me everything.
Yes.
I don't really care about. I care about your past relationships, but I kind of do need to hear about your mother and your father and how were you raised.
Yeah.
Because that's going to really be the example I need to see for how you're going to be with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always interested in the guy that I'm dating, like what happened in the very last relationship he had before me. Not necessarily too far in the past, and the parents too. Like, do you love your mama? That's important.
Yeah.
But like, how come she didn't want you anymore?
Yeah, what
you
happened?
know
What
what
happened
happened?
Right. What did
That's
you do?
important. Like, why did
And that's
she,
one of those
you
questions,
know?
like you said, we're afraid to ask. We don't ever want to ask. I do. I'm like,
I
so
do
what,
too.
what happened to the last one?
Exactly.
Where's
Why-
she at?
yeah.
Where's she at? What happened?
What happened? Why did she leave? Or
Why did
what
she
you-
leave?
You know,
You know,
what
another
do?
one that I'm really good for asking, and most women don't. Have you ever raised your hand to a woman? Have you hit a woman?
Oh, yes.
Because I need to know.
Right.
So important.
Because
Yeah.
you can't
Yep.
clean that up. You can't
Right.
justify that.
No,
I don't
you
want to
sure
just.
can.
That's right.
Did you?
Right.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I can't mess with you.
Yep. I really hope people are listening and maybe, you know, got some tips out there. You know, we're going to ask Stacye if she can give us her information. How can people follow you or, you know, maybe ask you questions? You said you asked your emails. Where you,
Got your
what
blogging.
information do you want to give out to our
Sure.
listeners?
I can always be reached at stacyebranch.com.
Okay.
And Stacye at stacyebranch.com is my email, or on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm everywhere. And Stacye is STACYEBRANCHE.
CHE.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, she was telling me Branché. I know people are looking at the spelling saying branch.
It's Branché. Most people can't say it, and I have heard it so many unpleasant ways that I just go with branch, and that works for me.
Got. I can relate to that because my name is Deidre spelled, but it looks like Dedra the way it's spelled, Dedra, and I get Deborah, I get Dedra, I get so. I can relate to that.
Right. So we definitely want you to follow our guest and pick up her book, Relationships and the Things That We Don't Talk About. We also want you to continue watching our show. We want to continue growing our show. If you're interested in being a sponsor, hit us up. You know, if you just want to say hi, hit us up, because we're always open and we're always just sending out love, and, you know, whatever you want, we'll provide for you, because we're from the heart. You know, that's why we have this show, and we have lovely guests as we do today, and we're all about positivity and helping you grow and change. And just staying open to the newness of life. We're coming into a great new year here, and it's just time for this, right?
Yes.
It's time to talk. And so we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and you can hit us at It's Time to Talk Show, and on Twitter we're at It's Time to Talk 3. So please stay in touch.
And we want to wish everyone out there happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Enjoy your families. Invite people over that you may have not forgiven. Give them a phone call. Say, come on, let's get together. Let's squash this, because time is short. 2016 has been just unbelievable with the great losses that we've had. So if anyone is in your life that you need to reach out to, just make amends. Just give thanks to God for just having the breath that we have, the places that we are, the people that are around us, and just try to dig deep and show some love for yourself and others. So
and again, I want to
Thanksgiving.
Again, I want to thank inspirational speaker and author Stacye Branché. Thank you
Stacye.
so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being on the show. Absolutely.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you next time on It's Time to Talk.
Remember, your conversation is your affirmation.